It's always tough around this year. I mean, this time of the year actually, and it's just one of those things, that you would never, and the even more sad part is he passed away just a few days after his birthday. So that whole period is quite difficult, knowing that you can't just make that simple phone call, or that call would never come through, and the unique relationship that we had, being his only child, waking up in the morning, having devotions with him, and stuff. These are the small things that, as a child you'd miss from your father. So it's just one of those things, just various thoughts just running through your mind and stuff. But I mean, it's 5 years. I'm glad that after 5 years I've been able to lay a wreath on my father's grave. So for me, that's an achievement. So yeah, just one of those things, I guess.
Can you remember your last conversation with your father?
Of course. I mean, I was actually in the castle on the day he passed away. I remember waking up very early in the morning, going to his room. I actually went to wake him up, because normally we wake up in the morning and then we go for a walk from the castle all the way to Independence Square and back. So I mean, I was fully geared, ready for the walk. And I remember him telling me that he wasn't going for the walk this morning because he was waiting for some medical doctors to come and check on him and stuff. But I mean, we had a normal conversation. I spoke to him about work and the stuff that I was doing. He was very supportive. He gave me a lot of advice on that day. And yeah, it was very random and weird day, but it was okay. So I guess that's what it is.
When did you know something was wrong 5 years ago? When did you know on that particular day?
When did I know?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I knew my father wasn't well. I mean, I'm not going to be oblivious about that. I knew my father wasn't well. But I didn't expect him to die, of course. But yeah, I mean, I had lunch with him in the afternoon and he seemed to be okay. So, to hear that he passed away a couple of hours after that was a big shock, was a blow to me. So, that's what.
You had lunch with him on that day, 24th?
Yeah, I had lunch with him.
Around what time?
Me, my father, and my aunt, Auntie Araba. She came from Bahrain, and we had lunch together. So I was there, and he seemed okay to me. So,
I'm sorry I have to press this because a lot of people are saying that he died in the morning. And if you're saying you had lunch with him,
I had lunch with him.
At what time?
In the lunchtime, afternoon, around 12, lunchtime. Yeah. Around that time going. So I definitely did have lunch with him. So,
as a son, are you surprised by the level of controversy around your father's passing?
Well, I've heard a lot of stories, but I'm not the type that, I mean, I don't let things get to me. I mean, people will say what they have to say. I also believe that, in order for you to take an action or to want to know something, there must be some level of evidence and some level of facts. So, I mean, there's been several rumors and stories about what happened to him, how he passed away and all those things. But, I mean, until I see some concrete, evidence, I don't really have much to say. And I mean, if someone was to approach me, or if we had to do any sort of investigation to find out, of course I'll champion the cause because he's my father, and I want to know.
So you still don't know what he passed away from?
I personally don't know. I mean, the hospital never gave the family any autopsy report to show that this and this and this was the cause of why he passed away. So I don't think any member of my family would be able to give evidence of how President Mills passed away.